Hey guys, it's Chase with Dreamedia. Welcome back. Today we are driving into something that I'm so excited for. This is our Ketra field kit, our demo kit, kind of like a sales kit. Really, this kit is for you guys, not for me. So if you want to experience Ketra, maybe we're meeting to talk about Lutron, maybe you just want to play with some of this gear because you're not sure, reach out, we'll meet in person, and you guys will get to physically play with this gear, much like the breakdowns we did on the portable shade kits that I travel with all the fabrics, the brackets, the actual moving motorized shade. This is the same thing taken to the next level just for Ketra. We've got this beautiful sweet Kenneth Cole bag. This component comes with 3 parts of the demo. There's the Ketra Jewel, the Ketra Reveal, and the Ketra Magic. So
okay.
Don't get too antsy, we're about to break it all down. All right guys, so the first thing that's gonna come out is the Magic Box. What could be in the Magic Box, everybody? So this is really cool, Zach. We have a programmed processor with its own Wi-Fi emitter built into this box. This is where our lamp cords power. This is the whole director of the Ketra show kit.
This is pretty legit.
We have 2 Sonata black finish keypads with 8 button options. We can go ahead and plug in both of our lamp cords, plug this in. I can program this to the network, change the programming on it, but I built my own system to demo after this demo kit, so we're not gonna get too far into that. Now I've got my 2 lamp cords, as well as my IEC cable for the sales kit. So what are these? These are just some portable lamp cords, guys, that if we don't have some light fixtures, maybe we're meeting up in an office or an unfinished home, this is gonna allow us to use the light bulbs. Now we can take these light bulbs, plug them into any fixture in Zach's house. They're wireless, they'll work. But for the purpose of this demo, we're gonna go ahead and use these lamp cords that come with it. How cool is that?
This is really, really necessary.
This is my favorite
for
sales
people
kit.
to understand. This is so cool.
So again, inside here, guys, I've got a wireless repeater. I've got a Homeworks processor. They're programmed, they're enclosed. The keypad is hardwired to them. And then this whole thing plugs in. And now I'm plugging in these lamp cords, this is nothing but a 120 volt circuit, passes through from the main one. But this is going to allow me to plug in some of our light bulbs and give you guys a bit of a demo. Now we've got the Jewel. What could be in the Jewel box? There's a literal plastic Jewel to play with. But more importantly, we've got our 2 main lights for the show. Our classic standard A20 bulb, my favorite in the lineup because it's the most flexible. We're gonna go ahead and screw that in. Let these bulbs start powering up.
You got yourself
the
little...
Zach found the lipstick. That's gonna be for our vibrancy test in a little bit. Yeah,
okay.
We're gonna get crazy.
Wow.
And we've also got the Jewel, a little glass ball that's fun to play with the lights. Let me make sure we get these lamp fixtures on.
Let's take a look at this. So right here we got our Jewel.
And just wait till we start doing some of this with the lights, what it's meant for.
Our lipstick.
All right,
And
so
then
that goes back.
our bulbs. This is the A20.
And this is your S30, the smaller that does the 90 to 15. Not the quite narrower track light, but one of the track lights as an example. So this is gonna be a much more focused beam, guys, whereas this is gonna be very wide omni dispersion of light. We can probably just rest
And
those.
what's cool with this one, based off of what I saw on the paperwork that you were showing, this is the one that can actually do 15 to 90.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
And increments
with
in
one
between.
bulb.
Yeah, so we order these and we can get these tracked to where the actual IO dispersion changes based on what you're focusing on. Yeah. The last box is the Reveal. I love this kit. Zach, this is essentially a smaller version of the art demo that we have at the Experience Center in CET.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna have a picture of artwork here that's gonna do really good at showing how our vibrancy pops. And then we've got real world examples of some stuff you may have. We've got a tile sample. Your Ketra light bulb is going to be hitting tile. It's going to be hitting a dark hardwood, a light hardwood. It's going to be hitting some dark granite. These are paint colors, guys.
It all matters.
All of this matters.
Every single design choice, the color of your granite, the color of your floors, the color of the walls is going to drastically change the lighting conditions.
The last part in here is really cool. So this is wallpaper fabric. So this is how we're going to allow us to see how Ketra is going to perform on different fabrics or wallpapers. And I'll tell you what, this one right here, I hate wallpaper. I'd put my whole room in that if I could keep Ketra spotlights around.
It's pretty sick.
Okay, so these are going to be your real world applications of the lights, how they perform under the Ketra bulbs and what's going on here. So first things first, let me go ahead and get this kit up.
All right, guys, we're gonna try to set up a pretty cool little demo for you here. We're gonna also screw these into my home, but I just set up a little staging rod above me here, and we're just gonna hang them. Basically make a little loop, Chase, just like that, and that'll be sufficient. So now, guys, to emulate an environment that can demonstrate this kit, we're gonna lower all the shades.
This is a perfect example of what we've stressed before. We love screen innovation shades, but this is not screen alignment. This is that next step.
Not screen alignment. What he's talking about is Hembar alignment. You see the bar at the bottom? What just happened is really unacceptable. I mean, a lot of the time, I must be having some network issues right now, which this is the problem, right?
Yeah.
And Lutron makes it to where, see what happened right now is all of these grab the IP at the same time. All three of those are the same height, but that one over there is off.
He got the command later.
He got the command a little later. Lutron doesn't allow that. They take that group and they wait until all of them are together, ready. And then they get room. When everybody's ready, boom, then it fires. So that makes a huge difference.
I'm having trouble finding light switches in Zach's house, and that's why we engrave faceplates with the name of the light load over them. So you don't even have to remember.
So this house does have a quick command. I have a voice with Alexa who's unplugged. I also have the macro, the single button, and I have a wall control. So this wall control over here does pretty good. It'll turn the whole house to this low, nice, relaxed lighting. This just did all 100 lights throughout my entire house.
Nice.
So this is like my evening relaxed scene right now. You can still see well, evenly throughout every inch of the space with very low lighting sporadically placed everywhere.
All right, crew, it is time to dive into this Ketra sales kit. First thing I'm gonna do is just turn on some light. So what we have here is an example of 3000 Kelvin, actually the exact Kelvin that Zach has spec'd into the light bulbs that do one color in his house. 100%. So we're gonna take that down all the way to 1%. And you can get my hand behind that. You can still see it's kind of glowing. Yeah, you see that? So since I opened this can of worms, I'm gonna dive into it now. I'm sick of everyone saying they do 1% dimming. Guys, it's kind of like the way audio works on paper versus in
Two different
reality.
things.
Okay? When you say 1% dimming, if you were to put a light at 1% out of 100% of a 120 volt power of a 60 watt bulb, what you are actually going to see is 10% to our eyes. So if you just go with Joe Schmo's dimmer that takes the light load down to 100%, you are capping at 10% as your lowest light. 0.1%, 0.1% is true 1% for our eyes in the space. This light is at 0.01%. It lights a room well enough, guys. That 1% to 10%, there's so much range. Most of the commands in my house after 8 o'clock, if we were to go look at the logs, are percentages between 12 and 1, which is really about 15% visibility how it translates to our eyes, down to actual 1% our eyes, 0.1% physically to the unit. Okay, so let's dive into that. 3000 Kelvin. Again, here's 3000 Kelvin in a very high lit environment. Here's 3000 Kelvin in that low lit, relaxed environment. So what I want to show now is our warm dim. So we talked about this. The bulb starts a little warm. It's not going to start completely white. As we dim it, it's going to actually darken and get redder. So let's see if I can simulate that again. It's going to get slightly more and more red as you dim down to soften the light on your eyes. And then it's going back up. Right now, this setting is about a 3000 Kelvin warm dim cycle. So it's starting right around the 3000. It's actually right at the same 3000 that we just started with that Zach has in his home. And we're going to warm the image as we dim. You saw my hand went really tan there before the light went out. We're warming up the quality and timbre of the light from that 3000 down to about 1800 right before the bulb cuts. Love that. Now let's talk about, just focus on that actual 0-1%. So I misspoke a little earlier, I forgot. Let's just set up. So this right here is 1%, right? Which is perceived as 10% for us, as I was talking about. We're gonna actually take it down to really 0.1%, which is 1% for us in real life. Did you guys see that difference here? So let me just be clear. If you have dimmers in your house, at best case, if it's the best dimmer on the planet, this is your 1%, which is 10% for our eyes. I'm gonna take you down to Lutron's 1% eye, 0.1%. Look at that. It's just a nice, warm glow, which isn't doing much midday here, but at night, that's a really nice, warm environment, just enough for your eyes to see, guys. So,
well, that is actually an issue in this home. I was gonna make sure I was gonna say, I have this problem.
Yeah.
In many fixtures around my home, they're only actually going down to about some as low as 7 and some as high as like 16% before they start flickering and bugging out.
Yep.
So I've had to spend a lot of time because I didn't go Ketra or any.
Or Lutron at all.
Well, I have Lutron dimmers, but they say
fixtures, lights.
I don't have any fixtures, and that's where the fixtures, in addition to the control, is a game changer. Because like this light, as an example, underneath my cabinetry, it never goes lower than about 20 before it starts bugging out. So we don't get that super relaxing, nice low light that I would like for evenings and mornings.
Okay, so two things on
Very
that.
valuable.
If you have your own fixtures and I'm retrofitting your house, I will program it to where you will never see flickering, which Zach has done here in his own house.
I've done the same thing, but it still frustrates me because yeah, I'm losing part of what I paid for.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to add that little bit in that I struggle with it, and it's a regret, honestly, and something that I won't allow to happen on my next home.
Good thing we can come back through here with S38s and trick out all your cans. But, so let's talk about Zach's problem a little bit. I keep saying best case 1%. If you guys don't have a Lutron system, I guarantee you aren't getting to 1%, which physically is 10% for us, right? We're going back to that. Some of the other smart home providers, I program for a lot of different lighting platforms. They stop, you know, it says 1% when you're looking at the slider to use an end user, but typically they're stopping between 10 and 35%, which now all of a sudden takes you up to 25, 50%. How your eyes render that.
That's my concern. In layman terms, that's what I was trying to just explain to you guys, is that my bulbs do not go down to 1%, and it's very frustrating. And they advertise they do, but they don't.
And again, his 1% at best is 10, right? Now we're gonna make the magic happen and actually take this down to 1% for our eyeballs, which if you guys were to see this at night, is just a stunning glowing. And that's like a nice candlelight. Ketra is so exciting. I forgot to dive into the simplest part of this demo, guys. And these are our spotlights versus our standard, like every light bulb you've seen Edison style in your home. All right, so this is a much more focused beam. As you can see, it's not emitting light that way. And then this, guys, our Omni light, general lighting. All right, so I'm just gonna throw in some color toggles real quick so you can just see how vibrant these LEDs are, guys. These pop. they sizzle. This is one of my favorite scenes, kind of. So we've got purple coming from the spotlight and a nice candle light here. And that's mixing in the space. And this is my favorite, by far my favorite fixture. Purple LED with 1400 Kelvin candle light bulb. This is a skew of orange. I have some candlelight stuff programmed for us later. So just go back through these. Look, we're blue again. All right. So now I'm gonna go into,
fun.
Dude.
It makes your house more fun.
And this is as simple as it gets.
Like, I would say I'm totally, at this point, it's taken some tuning, but I'm totally satisfied with like the everyday functionality, other than that some of my light lights won't go low.
But you're not playing with them.
I'm not having fun.
No.
Like, this is cool.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna do, let's just knock this example. This is called our natural XL example. All this is we're gonna take a natural daylight curve and we're gonna run it very quickly over 60 seconds. So I'm gonna sit here and just run my mouth, and you guys are gonna watch the light go from candlelight up to sunlight, to moonlight, to sunset, back to candlelight, as it would naturally work throughout your home. Now, do you guys, this probably sounds confusing, like, oh my gosh, this is so complicated for me as an end user. How am I gonna know how to set this up? You won't. So when I program the daylight command, as you just use your light switches normally throughout the day, this color transition is gonna be happening without any input from you. You're just gonna say light on, light off. It will automatically follow the brightness and temperature set up by your programmer for your specific daylight curve. So what we're looking at right now is a default one that comes out of Lutron. This is their most forward one right now. They have some of the older models in there that people didn't enjoy still. This is the newest model. And then my model at my house starts at 1%, goes up to only 75%, back down to 1%, goes all the way from 1400 Kelvin all the way up to 10,000. So I have absolutely matched the sun curve in my house exactly. This is a pretty general lighting. So again, I'm sure you guys can see this, but this is just a quick time lapse of a full day, kind of like we showed in the Lutron Designer app. So now that we've done that, let's go ahead and hit our natural light button. This is gonna show you exactly what temperature the light is outside. All right, guys. So I'm gonna lift up these shades behind the bulbs. Watch these bulbs disappear. And it's gonna be emitting the same exact sunlight as is coming into Zach's house naturally. Look at that. It's hard to describe, but this light right now is matching the exact Kelvin that the sun is putting on outside based on our coordinates and some other fancy programmer nonsense on the back end. So as you can see, watch this bulb just blend, it just blends into the space. So if you had these all throughout the house, running your daylight curve, you've got the shades open like Zach had when we started today, and then you go ahead and turn on your lights, it's going to just extend the outside lights in. It's like it just blends the space. It's like the sunlight is inside the home. That is my favorite part of this smart lighting Ketra demo for functionality. A lot of the other stuff is cool factor. So one more quick example. I talked to Zach earlier about how when I'm designing 4-button keypads, I like relax and energize scene as well as your standard daylight. So this is my standard daylight scene. Let's say it's too bright for me, even though it matches outside right now. I'm gonna go ahead and hit my relax scene. And look how that just changed the vibe of the area I'm in. Just made it nice and orange. This isn't, I wouldn't call it candlelight. I would just call it a lower Kelvin here. And then let's say now we're cleaning the kitchen. We're done relaxing, it's time to clean. We'll go ahead and hit our energize command, and 10,000 Kelvin, just lighten up the space, making sure we see every particle of dust. So we're just gonna go back and forth a couple times between the characteristics of energize and relax fairly quickly here. All right, and now we're gonna go back from our energize to our natural light, and this is just gonna warm slowly. We're pretty much right at the sun's peak here. This is pretty much as bright white as the bulbs are gonna get. And again, so that's kind of that. The next thing is our vibrancy toggle. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a color on. And this is something you guys are just gonna have to get up close and personal to experience. So Zach, you want a freehand? It's vibrancy time. So vibrancy, guys, what is it? All you need to know is it's how you're drawing colors out of what you're looking at. as an end user. It's gonna allow me to manipulate the artwork, the flooring, the wallpaper, the paint in the space under the same exact Kelvin temperature and color. All right, guys, it's Mad Scientist Lab time. So what we've got here, let me just clear this up so you guys can see. We've got some pretty common pearl, maybe like oval, opal finishes for paint, as well as gray. No matter what color you pick, you're never gonna see that color the way you think you are, right? You walk in, let's say you're walking your home, you picking out your paint colors on a well-lit day, then you get your 3000 Kelvin bulbs put in. Now you look at the paint, and now your paint looks like this.
Instead of gray, now you have tan walls.
Now you have tan walls. Orange is tan walls, right? So I'm just using Relax and 10,000, what we did before, to just show standard bulbs you're gonna get that just fall on a Kelvin. The environment around you, the way it's reflecting right, expanding light, really changes your experience, right? So now we're gonna get into Vibrancy, which is that salt and pepper seasoning I talked about that's gonna help us bring other colors out of these options. And this is gonna sound weird, but we're gonna see like more pinkishes, more blues coming out of these whites. We're gonna do the same thing for our fabric selections, our artwork, as well as some of our floor and countertop options here. But let's go ahead and start with the paint. So this is Vibrancy on now. And you see we've got kind of like a bluish hue. We're just kind of like bringing out blues and more purples and magentas out of it. That's and the way it's responding.
Thing with the grays.
Yeah.
Grays can be tan, grays can be blue, grays can be...
They're really good at casting back and reflecting light. This is about the worst example I can show with Vibrancy 2, which is why I wanted to start with it. So that's kind of our generic paints. It's gonna even affect the paint in your room. Let's talk about your flooring and countertops. People don't give thought to this. All right, so let's start the same process. We're gonna go ahead and start on our Relax vibe. So this is how Zach's floors would look, 3000 Kelvin in his own house. This is matching the temperature that he has chosen for his property. As you can see, this white isn't really that white. This dark granite brown is actually the brown highlight in this granite slab is popping really well under this. And I think the wood does pretty well under this Relax light as well. Let's bring that up to bright white. Now the white's kind of hard to even look at. It's going to be really good for finding stuff on the floor, not finding stuff on white. If you're trying to find stuff on white, that's going to be easier to find. Look, there's a speck. We can't even see that when the light's bright, but these other materials are going to do really good. Now let's get into Vibrancy. So same Kelvin, same temperature, nothing's changing with the color. Look at the way these are morphing. Our wood grains are getting darker, they're getting lighter. We're seeing more reds, more honey type colors popping from them. Our granite is very neutral here, guys. So not much is gonna happen with the white granite. But look at this gray granite. It whitens up, gets like a matte, more like pulls the gray forwards. Then when I take the Vibrancy away, when I put the Vibrancy in, it's gonna pull our browns to the forward of our viewing experience and push the grays darker and into the background. So that's my favorite one of the stones, as well as this this wood example right here. How red and honey and warm it gets when you. And again, guys, we're not warming or dimming the light. We're just changing our Vibrancy settings on the same color. It's hard to explain. Okay, there's our wood flooring. Let's talk about some of these fabrics. Now this stuff gets cool. So this could be wallpapers. It could be shade materials. It could be a couch material, a rug. How's that going to respond? So we've got some varying stuff with reflective properties, stuff with absorbing properties, and we're just going to see how that does. Let's do the whole same process we've done for the rest. We're going to start on 3000, which is how these materials appear in Zach's home all the time when the lights are on. There's no outside light in. Okay. Energize. So now these reflective materials are getting pretty harsh quickly, but it does a lot better with the bright on these light absorbing materials. Now let's get into our Vibrancy. So we're just going to keep changing it, and you're going to see colors popping. Like whites are stunning with the Vibrancy. So if you're taking a look at this, Zach, right now, this is a standard light, no Vibrancy. So we've got our grays and our whites, right? There's separation there because grays and whites are different. Watch the separation between the grays and white pop when Vibrancy is added. It just drew the whites out, brightened them up, made it like a white out white. And then back down, more subtle.
It's 100%
more poppy.
notable.
Yeah. Okay, so these are just some general ones where you can see the lighter colors popping. And again, these are matte, more of matte colors. See, I'm getting blues without the vibrancy out of this white. And now I'm getting like a really bright, true white with the vibrancy on. Now we're gonna get into my favorite example, which is artwork. This is what vibrancy was developed for. Artwork. So just remember, guys, this kit is coming to you. You're gonna get to play with this the exact way I am goofing around with this setup right now. This is programmed for me to bring to you, hand over to you, and let you play with during our meetings. Artwork is why vibrancy was created by the engineers at Lutron. So, Zach, if you had to describe the color palettes going on here, this is a very neutral light right now. What would you say? This is a neutral 10,000 Kelvin, not adding or taking anything out, just looking at the colors raw. We've got these blues, these reds.
Yeah, we got some teal. We got some very
these fading pinks, purples, right where the colors meet.
Yeah,
right?
very light pink, red going on. Blues and teals and a little white.
Okay, so let's take a look at this under Zach's lights. So we lost a lot of definition there.
We also gained
pops.
contrast.
We gained a lot of
contrast.
contrast.
Look at the contrast.
Yeah. Okay.
Holy cow.
And this is no vibrancy. This is from your Arctic to your bright Kelvin to your candlelight. Not even candlelight. 3000 is a fairly common bulb color in homes across America.
Yes.
So this is probably the most common application you would see this artwork under. Let's brighten it up and look at how that changes. This is no vibrancy, guys.
It's a totally different picture.
Yeah, this is just color mapping. Now you want to get crazy?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's add some vibrancy. Okay, so we've got our reds, our blues, our pinks, our teals, our salamanders. They're all mixing.
Yep.
And now I'm just gonna start morphing these colors around.
Wow, it's so crazy. The
Okay,
contrast.
so we just brought out more blues, brighter reds. We've got more aqua colored blues now, more
The
vibrant
teal
reds.
pops.
Yeah, and this gold actually fits better into the red after vibrancy is put on as well.
It's almost glistening now.
It is. So you can have these on shows, and we have some examples of this, but you can have the same color that you like to list to the bulb, have the vibrancy sweeping over time. So as you're
Like at
walking
the
through a
showroom.
space, yeah.
That was so sick.
And we can do this with color, guys. The vibrancy could be added to the blue, could be added to your purples. So you can draw anything you want out of this. Like let's say yellow looks really good. Then we're changing the vibrancy on our yellow. Now we're pulling even more out of it. So it's just 16.2 million colors, 10,000 Kelvin to 1400 Kelvin, the entire spectrum, plus vibrancy. You could not play enough with this and ever get to the end of, like I'm messing around my house all the time. So, and then we've just got this lipstick here, which is just another eye piece of candy that you may see in your home, how it gets affected by different light colors. See? Ooh, let's just do the color toggle on this. So look, these colors in the color toggle have vibrancy set to 100. So we are utilizing vibrancy here, but now we're gonna, instead of just using white light with vibrancy, we're gonna utilize some colors. So this is the blue, obviously, basically turn the whole scape to a blue scape, purple scape, right? We've deleted our reds. We brought out this white in here that I wasn't
you couldn't see before.
Yeah, I didn't notice too much. Now let's turn it to red. Boom, we've pushed the blues into the background. We've brought up our reds. We've made them as vibrant as possible. It's a magenta color now. And I'm just gonna cycle through some of the ways, like this artwork is just changing and growing with the space. So you can literally just set up an art gallery and just have it morphing and changing like maybe like a hallway. You've got these spotlights on either side, and you've just got this vibrancy and color wheel changing slowly, and it's just never the same twice.
I mean, we have clients that have millions of dollars of art around their house, and they've invested hundreds of thousands.
What do? They just put a light bulb on it, a regular light bulb.
Just standard
or
light
worse,
bulbs.
They put a Kelvin one on it that completely skews the artwork that they liked.
Yeah.
They're like, it doesn't look the same.
Well, what I've seen in a lot of these homes that do have all the sculptures and the very nice artwork, you know, collector items, is they will use different bulbs, but I haven't seen any using Ketra. I think that's the next level. You know, most of them just have a little either around 3,000 or 4,000 Kelvin output, maybe up to 5,000 Kelvin
Yeah.
if they want it to be a little bit brighter. But I never see anything other than a spotlight or a floodlight on it. Like never this vibrancy color. It just adds a whole different element.
This is throughout the day now. So we're running that 60-second cycle of how this
Look
artwork
at how the
reacts.
red expanded.
And this is just
you
natural
couldn't
daylight.
even see red, and then it just totally changed the picture.
It makes sure that it's never the same. Imagine this, guys. Like, we're sitting here talking through a couple. This is one artwork with essentially 2 colors used in it. This isn't something crazy, you know, like we've got some cool custom boards. We got some cool artwork around your house we're gonna demo later. So this was just a natural sun, just how the sunlight naturally affects the artwork in your house. And then we get into the craziness, right? This is Zach's 3000 Kelvin. Take it up to 10. Let's pull the vibrancy out, put it back in. Let's make this blue. Let's make it pink. And the artwork is just changing.
It's so cool.
It's hard to like put this into perspective. And then we got this little trinky dinky. It's not my favorite. You guys might like it. These are good examples to see how normal items in your house are going to get affected. So just saying, you know, they're pretty receptive to the colors around them, these objects. In this diamond, how it's reflecting light. And you can see the vibrancy even on the everyday items. Like look at the color of the red. So this is vibrancy off.
It changes from red to orange.
It just pops.
Totally.
Yeah, it just puts it up in your face, which is awesome, really.
That is really cool.
For me, this brings what EQ brought to the audio world to lighting control, where you just get to go in and pepper stuff up any way you want it. You never get to stop. It never stops being fun. You've never used the options. What if I had 3 dB here, more at 80? What if I took away 3 dB at 100 because I've got a bass bump there or null there, so I'm turning it up. That's what we're doing with lighting. It's next level. It blows my mind.
I love that analogy, Chase.
You
guys can all relate to that if you're into audio.
All right. So that, guys, is our Ketra tutorial on the show kit. You can come play with this, schedule a meeting with me. We've got this kit. We've got that live showroom experience center that's curated for Ketra with custom fixtures that have like, I think it's like 40 of these light bulbs in a custom chandelier that they have mapped.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, we
Over
have
the conference table?
multiple artworks. So this on a grander scale, you get to walk through it. It's doing the morphing for you. You can meet with me, play with any of these goodies and purpose. Bring your own artwork to my meetings to see how it reacts with Ketra. I guarantee you it will blow you away. Thank you guys for joining me for this breakdown. If you're looking for luxury lighting, if you want to dive into complete control of not just your audio with Dreamedia Home Theater, but your lighting, take control of your house, take control of your sleep schedule, your circadian rhythm, take control of your artwork, take control of the party today in your house. Reach out, schedule a free consultation. Let's start that Ketra journey today.